Catwoman number 20, written by Ann Nocenti, art by Rafa Sandoval, Diogenes Neves, and Mateus Santaluco. So last issue was a tie-in, quote-unquote, with JLA, Justice League of America number 3, I believe. And I thought that it would tie in heavily because at the very end she ended up in the Gotham Underground after breaking out of Arkham. Then this issue happens, and I gave the book way too much credit. So we pick up with Penguin visiting his mother in the family crypt. And I guess it's in the Gotham Underground because Catwoman's just there, and she's like, oh, hey, he left a bunch of jewels in there with her. I'm gonna go get those. And she talks about how impossible it is to break the lock, and then she does it anyway. And as she's about to break in, she gets punched in the face by some dude who's down there. And she's like, hey, wait a minute. I know you. We met in the Black Room, which I don't remember him. I like maybe, but I don't remember him. But either way, she beats him up, and he's like, oh, what did you do to me? My body is changing and it hurts. And if I remember correctly, at the end of the issue prior to last, this is the guy who was walking down the street and he had like horns growing out of his head. So either way, she just walks off with some of the jewels and says, I'm busy stealing from your boss. Tell him the message that I'm doing so. And so he tells Penguin the message and says like, oh, tech guy, make some drones that are going to shoot at Catwoman anytime she shows up anywhere. And he's like, on it, boss. So then we go to Selina's penthouse, and she is watching over the footage that she's getting from the police station because she planted a bug there. And her partner, Gwen, is like, you can't, that's illegal. And she's like, are you serious? That's like 95% of what I do. And then she claims, I also stole these from Cobblepot. And she's like, you got to give those back immediately. You don't understand. And Gwen basically breaks down and says, yeah, he's the one who bailed me out of jail. And he's got his finger in everything. Like, we got to play by his rules right now. And Catwoman's like, I don't play by anyone's rules. So maybe me and you got to go our different ways. So then we see the Rat Tails gang is being trained on how to shoot better. And Catwoman just shows up and says, hey, I hear that Black Mask has a whole bunch of like jewels and stuff under the city. You know anything about that? And he's just like, yeah. But it's more than you can get with just this shovel. So then we go over to the home of Joe Pazzo, who's the dude that stopped Catwoman from breaking into the vault at the beginning. And he's like, I've been going through some weird changes. Some weird things are going on with me. And his daughter keeps on laughing at like a silly face he makes. And he's just like, stop laughing, baby. It's not funny. And she's like, oh, I can't stop laughing. Ha ha ha. It hurts, Daddy. And eventually he smacks his daughter. And the mother's like, what in the hell is wrong with you? And he's like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I have no idea why I do that. So Catwoman calls up Darwin, the guy from the Black Room. Can I just throw out there right now, if I had known how much we would keep going back to that Black Room thing because it actually ended up being important rather than just a stupid little tie-in to Black Diamond probability, I would be so much more pissed off back then because I still didn't know what was happening. So either way, she calls him up and says like, hey, remember that demon thing from those issues? Is he still out? And he's like, yes, his name is Escalate. He just makes human emotion go way over the top, whether that be happiness or fear or lust or whatever. And she's like, okay, well, I'll figure out how to take care of it. And we see Pazzo with Escalate inside of him, because of course it is standing watching her outside a bar. And he's like, I can't attack her with all the people in there. I'll get her outside by getting all the men in there to be super creepy. So he escalates their lust, and they all start hitting on Catwoman. But then they also start just committing sexual assault. And she starts beating the crap out of all of them. And as she puts on her mask, Escalate just breaks in through the window and says like, well, that's enough of that. And then she's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. I recognize your face. I literally just beat you up the other night. So are we going to fight? And he's like, yep, but let's do it somewhere else. And so they just leave. And then nobody has any memory of everything. And Escalate points out, like, don't worry. They'll all have their memories wiped from things when I'm interfering with them. So, like, it doesn't have anything to you don't have to worry about that, which I wasn't to begin with. But either way, they make their way out to a beach, and very quickly, Joe Pazzo's body is being transformed into just full demonic form. And he's like, you messed something up. I was happy in my book, and now I'm this. I'm turning in this guy. But, like, it's also from the voice of Joe Pazzo. So, like, he doesn't even realize that he's saying this. He's like, why did you mess me up? Why am I turning into a demon? It just, like, randomly changes. So either way, his anger and his upsetness that his life has been ripped away from him spreads out to everyone else, and everyone at the beach starts drowning themselves because they're so upset. And he's like, no, I won't stop them, Catwoman. And he's like, you've got to. And she says, whenever you're sad, just think of the opposite. Like, thanks, Dr. Catwoman, my depression is cured. So either way, it doesn't work, and she realizes the only way she's going to stop him is lethally. So she throws something, and it's like the worst sequence of panels in this whole book here. She throws something into his neck. He bleeds out, and as he dies, he transforms back into a normal person. And everyone just sees this dead person at the feet of Catwoman. They're like, Catwoman just killed a guy. A normal, innocent, totally not demonic guy. Murderer. And so now she's on the run. We see Penguin's guys come in a helicopter to basically try to save his life. And Catwoman's like, am I do that? Did I do that? And then we just get Penguin, who's now extremely pissed off because not only did Catwoman steal from him, she also killed one of his top guys. And so now they're going to rain bombs down on the Badlands, which is where I guess Catwoman is chilling. I just like this book so much. Not just this issue. This issue is okay in just it's contained to itself. But from issue to issue, I constantly feel like I'm missing something. Like, there's just some hidden link. Like, I'm supposed to be reading some other series that's going to fill in all these gaps. And at first I thought maybe it'll be JLA. But no, this has nothing to do with any of that. They even specifically reference at one point, hey, JLA was calling for you. And she's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's baffling to me how disjointed this story is. And, like, nothing makes any sense from book to book. And yet somehow all of it is supposedly have been set up in advance. I'm so annoyed with this book. This book escalates my annoyance. So overall, I'm going to give this one I'm going to give it a 4, which is by far more than it deserves, but I at least appreciated the art. The art looked nice in this issue, which is more than I could say for a lot of the issues in this run. So, God, I dislike it.